This is tape 2 of Mrs. Susan Ronay.
So, what was really a terrible thing what they did, that's all suffering. Every morning that Apple Plus plays, they just play the Russian roulette. Every 5 person get a bullet in the head. We have to bury them. The other punishment, like I said before, it was very, very cold. They put on the naked bodies, they call one of the girls, they put it on cold water and just let them to freeze in the terrible winter. It's, I could tell you many things what's happened over there. I just can't believe in the 20th century this could happen. If I'm gonna read myself in the book, I wouldn't believe this happened. And I was the witness, I was there. So I know that's happened. So going back, in the barrack, we had a young woman. She told us she's pregnant. We was very surprised because everybody was pregnant or who had little babies, children, they sent right away to the gas chamber. She managed to get the baby. Baby was kicking, but she told us just about the time here, and she thinks the baby is coming pretty soon. So we asked her, just be quiet, we're gonna help how much we could. One day she said, I have a terrible pain, I'm afraid the baby is coming. And she was very brave, without cry, without scream. She gave life to the little tiny baby boy. The baby was very small. The mother doesn't have milk. We don't have water to wash with. But one of us, we run out, we get a little snow, so we wash the baby. One of the girls take off the clothes, put around, but the baby started to cry. Was hungry. So for that noise, for a cry, the SS woman came in and what's happened? What happened? We have a little baby boy. It's no such a thing. Jewish children has to die. So right away, it was a terrible scene. Took the baby's 2 feet and slept in the wall. And the mother ran over, wanna help, but this couldn't help, and they shot the mother. So there was the mother and the child, so full of blood. Nothing, just a bloody flesh. We have to bury them. After a couple days passed, couple weeks passed, they took us to the other place. I said, this can be worse than Ravensbrück. This can be worse. So my mother came with me. She was very thin that time, me too. I remember when we stand in the line, there was a broken piece of window with the glass. And somehow, by the reflection, I saw myself. And I said to my mother, this is me? I can't believe. It's like the corpse. It was 25 kilograms. But we went that time to Panic.
How did they take you there?
With the wagon. It's the same place where we get to Ravensbrück. Also around 70-75 people in the wagon. And when we got over there, it was a different camp. Not better, but at least we can work over there in the factory. We have to walk to the factory. That was really very, very hard. Early morning, at 3 o'clock was the Appelplatz. After the Appelplatz, around 4 o'clock or 4:30, wherever was finished, we have to walk to the factory, start the work in the factory, and we stay over there till the night, around 8 o'clock, and walk back about 2-3 miles.
How many days a week did you work?
Every day. Every day. That was the aeroplane factory, and there was no Saturdays or Sundays or holidays. We worked 7 days.
When did you arrive at that factory? At Penning. When did you arrive there?
When we arrived, I don't know exactly the date, but it was around January, between January and February, I'm not sure, 45. And in the factory, we felt a little bit easier because we work by the machine, but because we don't have enough food, we walk a lot, and we was very run down, physically, mentally, emotionally, and every way. I have also the episode is one of the girl, the blonde hair girl. I don't know how, but she could keep her hair. Somehow she escaped, and she have her long blonde hair, and she was working by the machine. And one of the days she got so tired, she fell in sleep, and her hair was caught in the machine, and the whole head and the whole body was trembling. That was one of the terrible things what I have to be witness over there. That was in panic. That particular girl's parents, after the war, came to me. What's happened? Where is my child? What happened? I know they took you, because she was working in the factory also. So, and I had to say what's happened, and they went back, they went home, the mother and father, and killed themselves. The suicide, that's back now. I went a little further. So, what's happened in the factory? Work, work, work. And on the way in the morning, and another way late night when we went back to the barracks, it was early spring. It was open windows with one of the houses, and I saw the people there. They were sitting or looking out the window, or they were sitting outside the house. And they said, is ever we gonna be sitting in our chair or sit by the table, or the family is gonna be together? Ever we gonna be mensch again? Because now we wasn't. For them, we wasn't with the animal. The people wouldn't do what they did with us. I wouldn't. I always was I wouldn't kill the fly. So that for a time we was over there. Then the factory has to close because the Americans and the Russians, they was bombed the place. There was Chemnitz already. It was a different place. And there was bombs all over, every night, every day, all the time. And there was the rumors, it's pretty soon, it's gonna be end of the war, we're gonna be free again, we have to hold ourselves. And one day, I came to the barrack, the SS people, And they said, no, you have to march. We're gonna take you to the forest. We have to dig our own graves, and they're gonna shut all of us over there. It was about 200 girls, all Hungarian girls, most of them from Budapest. And we walked. There was spring already. It was a terrible lightning, rain. The aeroplanes was so close, and we was praying, just we would like to die from the bombs, not from the SS. And there was ditch on the road, and the ditch was full of water. So like someone told me, I don't even think about it, like someone tell me, do that. I push my mother to the ditch of water, and I jump after her. And I actually buried with my own body. And because the noise, because the bombs, because the lightning, somehow we escape. That's a miracle. I was praying for miracles. God help me make a miracle now. And He made. So we was half frozen in the ditch of water. We don't know where we are. We don't know absolutely nothing. And when the whole group is passed by, we came out and we look around. There's no people. There was the forest. So I said to my mother, we have to stay here. We'll see what's going to happen, but that is the only way we can survive. I find the autobus, the bus, what the Germans used. It was upside down, and it was the one seats over there. So I put my mother there. She was really sick. She had fever. And I told her, wait here. I'm gonna go to the town. I got some help. Everybody knows who we are. We are the Flüchtling. We are, that clothes what we have on. It was marked with a big cross like that on the back and in the front.
What color was it?
It's white paint,
Mm-hmm.
white paint. So everybody knows who we are and how we look. But somehow I said, what could happen? Anyway, we will die or survive. It's only two things could happen. But I have to save my mother. We have to see my father. We have to come together. We don't know nothing about him because they took him earlier from the factory, some other place. So we don't know nothing for a year already. Then I walk in the town, and I saw very much soldiers. And I went over there, one of them. Somehow, as the faces looks for me like maybe it's better than the other ones. Definitely it was better than the SS. So, and I speak pretty good German. So I told him, I'm a Jewish Flüchtling from the concentration camp. We escaped, and my mother is in the forest, and she's very sick. And if you have a little feeling, you're going to help for her. We need aspirin and some warm tea. And he said, if you tell me the truth, I'm going to help you. And during the night, I explained where is the bus. But this wasn't too far. And he came over and he bought aspirin for my mother. And after that, he came a couple times, a piece of bread. But otherwise, we ate. This was a little box on the trees. It was spring already. It was a lot of rain, so we open our mouth and we drink the rainwater. And we ate that little bugs from the trees, little leaves. That was our food and that drink. And one day, it was bombs all over again. And we know one side was the Russians, the other side was the Americans, and in that city it was still the Germans. So that time we decide somehow, but we're gonna go. We have to leave that place, because if we stay here, we can't survive. So we start to go, walk. We don't know which way, but we thought if we are going this way, we will see the Americans. If we go the other way, we will see the Russians, but just out from that place. And on the field, it was again a terrible bomb. That bomb, it's like the ditch, that bomb ditch. When I fell down, my mother fell down. She was crying, Susie. I was crying, Mom, we are all right. And I was just praying. I would like to die right away, not stay here cripples without the leg, without the arm. I just want to die. But we survive. And we walk for how long, I don't remember. It seems to me very long, but really I don't know how long. And then I saw like the white sheet. It's one of the house, and the other one, and the third one. I said, is everybody washed their clothes today, or what's happened? And then I saw the first American soldier, the jeep. There was Americans, and we reached them. We was there. So we was crying, and we hold each other, and now we're gonna go home. We will see my daddy. Hopefully she is alive, but we don't know nothing about him. And the first American, I speak a little bit English too, so with a couple of words, and right away they give it to us, chocolate and orange. And they told me where to go. There was the big camp. We was the only Hungarians over there. It's mostly Russians and Polish prisoner of war.
Do you remember the name of the camp?
No, because we didn't stay over there long. But my mother got the little place to sit down, and I got on the top. And we get tickets for bread. So I went to the place where they give the bread. I was very, very hungry. I was really in very, very bad shape, but still alive. I stand over there, and the woman came over, the German woman, and she said, "Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Do you speak German?" I said, "Yeah, warum? Come with me." And I left the line, so I went with her. She said, "Go and take a bath." After so many months, the first time I took the bath and shampoo, I have a little curly hair already. I washed my hair, and then she took me to that little girl's room and gave me a pink dress. She put a pink ribbon in my hair. She gave me a patent leather shoes, pink socks, and she said, "Step on the scale." That's 25 kilograms. But I was clean, I had a nice dress on, and I was happy I'm alive, and now it's freedom. Now we're gonna go home to Budapest. So I was dancing on the street, and I sing a little songs what I learned when I was, a little girl. and there was American soldiers, and one of them stopped the jeep, and he said in English, he said, you are a Jewish girl, right? Don't you? You are so beautiful. And he kissed me, and he gave me a little piece of paper, his name and his address. He said, maybe one day you're going to be in America. Here is my address. That I don't remember the name, I just remember from Chicago. It's very clear. But that time, I don't have the idea one day I'll be here in the United States. I always wanted, but you know, I just want to go home and I just want to see my family. And we stay for a while in this camp. We get clothes, we get food, and then we said we would like to go home. And they said right away we have to go to Czechoslovakia, through Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia to Hungary. It's a pretty long way to go, and all the bridges was turned down. But we said we don't care. We have a little room on the top of the train, but they said they're gonna go to Budapest. So we climb on, we hold each other on top of the train, was holding, and there was some other survivors. He said, we are all sisters and brothers, we are the survivors. And the train is stopped in Bremen, that's in Czechoslovakia. There was the Elbe river next to us. So the train has to stop because four bridges we has to pass till go on the way. And the bridges was turned on, they have to fix it. And they said this our train is gonna be very first one, it goes through on the bridge. If our train can go through, then the soldiers can go after us. So he was the guinea pig. And about 4 days he was in Bremen. I come down from the top of the train, and I said to my mother, I'm gonna get something to eat. I was hungry. There was the cherry tree, and the man who is on the garden came out, and he said, he speaks Hungarian, but he said, don't tell to my wife you are Hungarian and I give it to you cherries, because she was also the Nazi, so she special for Jewish people and the Hungarians. So, but I took some sour cherry, and then my only dress was torn. I saw some clothes on the clothesline. I took it. I don't have the bad feeling. I wouldn't take never nothing. But that time I said they took my childhood. They took my young years. They took everything from me. Now I just took the panties and the socks and whatever I could find over there. And after 4 days, first there was the river, the Elbe. And even before I took the clothes, I jumped to the river and I scrubbed myself. I washed it was so cold. But I scrubbed my skin. I want to take off that terrible memories, the terrible years, that suffering. My skin was, from the lash, from the rubber lash, from the scars all over. But I don't feel any pain. I just want to scrub. And I went under the water many times. I swim pretty good, so I went under the water. I was hoping when I came up, it's going to be emerge the the new person. And I don't want to think about what's happened before. I just want to look forward to the new life. It's born the new person. I had that feeling. So I went back to the train, and then the bridge was fixed. So we went through. We arrived to Budapest. We went straight to my aunt's house. First we was looking around, our store was taken, our homes was took, our furniture, all the belongings, we don't find anything. Then we went to my aunt's house. She opened the door and she fainted. She thought we are not alive anymore. And then we asked her, you know anything about my father? No, she doesn't know nothing. What's happened with my grandparents? Was killed in Auschwitz. What's happened? The other part of the family killed here, killed there. Some of my aunts, some of my uncles was still in Budapest. They hide. One of them, they had a paper, Christian papers, from the blonde man. So he went with the white cane, and he survived this way. Then we don't know still nothing about my father, and we get back just the place where was the store before. So my mother and I, with my uncle's help, we opened that store. Very little bit, but we start the new life. That was around in June, July, and my father came home in October.